Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we actually ended up getting a new surprise update in Black Ops 6. We mostly assumed that last week when we saw the Nuketown update drop, that was likely going to be the final main content or community update that we'd get for the game. But lo and behold, today we actually got some surprise playlist updates and new modes in game that are actually, I think, going to go over really well with the community. We also have a couple of other additional reveals for season 1, including what I want to start with first, and that is a brand new gameplay trailer showing off a little bit more of what we learned yesterday through the roadmap and the blog post. So if you haven't caught that video where we detail all of the new content and updates coming with season 1, from the weapons, modes, maps, operators, battle pass, everything like that, feel free to go and check that out. But this actually shows more gameplay of it rather than just like still screenshots or text talking about it, right? So unfortunately can't play this with any audio. There is some copywritten music in here, but the first part is a little bit more story based. We see some of the operators, some of which you might recognize from the campaign. We've got Sev talking here, basically talking about their plan of action. Then we've got season 1 Call of Duty Black Ops 6 showing off a lot of the content in and of itself. So you'll notice the operators are using their season 1 skins. They've got new blueprints for season 1. We get fly-throughs of the actual season 1 maps. The new weapons are in their hands as well. So pretty cool stuff going on here. This looks like a crazy little play space with like the I don't know, neon lights and everything going there. We dove through the wall through the cinematic. This is that hideout map that we saw obviously debut in a tweet the other day, then got more details of it in the blog post. Burning money, doing all sorts of craziness there. Obviously it's much more so a, hey, look at all this cool new season 1 content that you can likely purchase through the battle pass or the store bundles or whatever. We get to look at Hacienda, our new like helicopter helipad style map here. Still gives you that classic sort of, you know, Call of Duty OG trailer style vibes, just like the one yesterday did as well. But yeah, basically just a new in-depth look at some of the actual gameplay of season 1 in a more cinematic way. We can see our new sniper in action there as well. Several of the new skins, as mentioned, all being played on some of these new maps that we'll see for multiplayer, at least some at launch, and then also some in season as well. So we'll have to see if we get any more, I know, official footage and anything coming, whether it be a cinematic trailer talking more about the actual story, or if we get a full-on Warzone trailer, which I imagine might be coming in the next few days as well. We'll have to see. Obviously, as anything is announced and revealed, we've got a lot upcoming in the next few days, but then even more once season 1 does fully drop and we have all the patch notes live, diving into Warzone and the Black Ops 6 integration for the first time, taking a look at weapons, you know, the best strats for gameplay, everything like that. So if you want to stay in the know for absolutely everything going on, feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications. Since Black Ops 6 launched, just over 50% of the viewers watching are not subs. So if that's you, I'd love to have you join us on the road to 1 million. And of course, if you enjoy this video as we continue to go through some of the new update changes and everything, a like rating would be seriously appreciated. The trailer wasn't all though for a couple of other additional season 1 previews that we got, although some of these other things I want to bring up are a bit more like PSA. Hey, these changes are likely going to be happening in season 1, right? You might have missed some of this stuff as well. Like for instance, we actually have, I think this is the first time we've ever had this in COD, a new change coming to the way that the store and black cell is approached this season, because the replacer operator pack is going to be coming within season 1 of BO6. And with this, if you actually have the season 1 black cell, you end up getting a bonus skin. So the tracer pack has just the base one here, right? But then you also get this bonus black cell themed skin, which is pretty interesting. Now, Matt Scrontz, one of the design directors over at Treyarch, has also given us some previews via Twitter in regards to some other updates and changes we can shortly expect here with season 1. So he was asked again about the issue where you can't talk to the other team in between matches of like S&D, or rounds of S&D rather, or at the end of a match once the game is concluded. Now that is something we have seen on the Trello board for a little bit. They said they were investigating communication stuff with voice and text chat not fully working there. However, Matt does give us you know, a more detailed response here, saying this is an important one that we hope to have a fix for in the near future, which pretty much indicates this should be a season 1 update, all things considered, since that is the most near future significant update we've got coming up here in just a couple of days time. So for those of you looking to use that voice chat feature a little bit more so you can actually talk in between rounds, you can talk at the end of a match, that should be updated here in just a couple of days time. Matt was also asked about the nuked out calling card not being awarded when you go through a free-for-all and you go 30-0, win the game and get that nuked out medal, right? And to this he did say, assuming you're talking about earning it in free-for-all, we should have a fix for that one. So another update that should be coming soon. Keep in mind they still have yet to address the very nuclear bug going around, where typically once you get a nuclear with 25 different weapons, which is a pretty absurd task. But right now, if you just end up getting 30 kills with like 25 different weapons or whatever, it it ends up giving you that Dark Ops calling card. So if you're interested in that, you might want to, go through, change up your loadouts a little bit while it is still bugged if you just want to unlock that for free. But I do imagine that gets fixed here pretty shortly as well, especially if they're already looking into some of these other, more difficult challenges like Nuked Out. And then Matt also responded to the fact that currently in game-winning kill cams or best play kill cams, if you get a combat axe kill, it doesn't actually track the combat axe like it typically does, where it'll follow it through the sky. It just shows your player's POV. And to this, Matt said, saw this yesterday and was discussing this with the team. This is a bug and it should follow the projectile, so that'll be logged, and they are looking into that, and hopefully we'll have that updated soon as well, so that you can get those cool kill cams if you make a sick play with the combat axe or with a projectile, and that ends up being the best play. Now, aside from some of these season 1 patch note previews that we had, we also got new patch notes today alongside our sort of surprise content update that we'll cover here in just a moment. But initially with this, we've got our Friday, November 8th update. Do keep in mind, this is just a hotfix update. This does not require like a full download or anything like that. So when you launch your game, you'll get the update requires restart screen. After you go through and do that, you'll be all good to go. Before some of these patch notes, as we zoom in here with maps on Lowtown, they address an issue where players could get outside of the intended play space. I think this is like the third time we've seen this happen for Lowtown for some reason, but they have gone through and fully updated that. For our featured playlist, this is a big one today. So this is sort of like the surprise that we got yesterday. Obviously, we had the huge season 1 announcement and reveal, but then Treyarch just before that was like, oh, also surprise, we've got a cool update coming tomorrow. So obviously this is going to be going live at 10 a.m. today, and that's Pacific time. So ideally, pending anything crazy, when this video goes live, they should be going live just after this video is published. So if you're watching this like an hour after the video goes up, first off, you probably got noties on. I appreciate you. But then secondly, these playlists should be live. So Stakeout 24/7 is making its debut. So that's going to be fun if you are grinding camos, weapon levels, if you're trying to, just get a lot of kills in a game or anything like that. Stakeout is the most chaotic map in the game. The spawns are atrocious. There's always someone to your left, your right, your front, your back, but it is that chaos that makes camo grinding much easier, headshots, point blanks, stuff like that. Also, the 10v10 mosh pit is debuting. So a big thing so far is, hey, it's only 6v6 gameplay. Can we get any bigger modes, any bigger maps, stuff like that? And with this, 10v10 is now actually going to be live in the game. We actually had this as a leak prior to Black Ops 6 launching, so that's kind of cool that that's come to fruition now. For what it's worth, there were also some other leaks talking about maybe eventually ground war or combined arm like modes. We'll have to see if those ever do happen though, obviously. But for the 10v10 mosh pit, there's going to be gameplay on Red Card, Rewind, Vault, Vorkuta, Lowtown, Derelict, Skyline, Scud, and even Nuketown as well, so that'll be in the rotation. And then it's going to be played on TDM, Dom, Kill Confirmed, and Hardpoint, so that's going to be a really fun mode just to see how chaotic these maps are, or just how normal giant maps like Red Card might end up playing when there's a few extra players on each team. They've also further updated the recon combat specialties, so they've further reduced the duration that enemies are highlighted after respawning from 1.5 to 1 second. So we'll continue to monitor data and feedback on combat specialties throughout post-launch. So recon combat specialty gets another nerf. Those red flares that you see and red outlines that you see when you spawn in are going to be even shorter now. So don't blink when you are respawning. You'll miss this now. XP earn rates, another big one here, resolved an issue where match bonus was being improperly scaled across game modes, where sometimes your match bonus was just not as much XP as you should be getting. Resolved an issue where match bonus was not consistently being awarded in Search and Destroy. Obviously a huge thing there. You pop off in a round of SND, you finish the game, you get no bonus XP for what you just played and how well you just did. So nice to see that some XP earn rates will be fixed with this update as well. For challenges, they removed the get 50 eliminations when using weapons with no attachment daily challenge, so you don't have to worry about getting that obnoxious one anymore. Then they also added in various stability fixes as well. Again, I do wish they actually went through and were specific with this. What stability issues, what specific changes are happening here? Is it for a certain crashing issue when you're on the menu? Is it for stability when something happens in game? I'd love the actual details here just so we can get a clearer idea. We also have some zombies updates here though. Resolved an issue where weapons with a default scope would show an extra attachment pip when viewed in game. Resolved an issue where the player's multiplayer loadout could be present when previewing their zombie loadout. They closed an exploit that allowed certain field upgrade augment effects to persist beyond their intended duration. They also closed an exploit that allowed players to launch tactical rafts into the air on Terminus. I wonder if that means you're not able to actually get the raft up the thing, with obviously that glitch going on now, or if with Melee Macchiato you're not allowed to like punch them and launch them anymore. We'll have to see if they actually fixed it this time around. Then with stability, they added various stability fixes in zombies as well. And yet again, I'll reiterate, I wish they were talking about specifics here and they actually detailed what these certain stability fixes were, if they were for certain maps, certain areas of a map when you have something out, whatever the case was there. Alas, there were some server instability updates for both modes, and then plenty of gameplay changes and those little surprise playlist update as well. This, in theory, I would think is going to be our final update before season 1 drops on the 14th. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, as we see new reveals and announcements for season 1, potentially some more trailers, blogs, and stuff like that, I'll be covering all that right as it surfaces. And if there are any other surprise changes or anything going on, you know I got you covered with absolutely everything going on in COD on a daily basis. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, join us on the road to 1 million. And if you enjoyed this video, a like would be seriously appreciated as well. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.